Good morning, starlings. Welcome to a part 2 of Goodbye Email Hell. So this is really for those of you who, like me, suffer from, oh my god, I can't stand email with the power blaze of 1,000 suns blazing, whatever you want to call it. And please forgive me for the mildly more incoherent than usualness, because it is not quite 7 in the morning and we are doing this on the morning commute, which I don't normally do because afternoon brain is better for this, but that's not where we are today. Now, right, so if you were watching part 1, then you got my introduction, which is taking the amazing work of Dana K. White and her decluttering, 5-step decluttering method, and taking that over to the idea of our email inbox. Because the email inbox is where the hell is at. Let's face it. You know, once you put something in a folder, hey, if you're like me, some ADHD, out of sight, out of mind, who cares? Whatever. It's in a folder. I'll get to it someday when I'm supposed to. And which is why, of course, I end up relying on my inbox to go, no. If it's still in the inbox, I still need to do it. It's still important. And then I was trying to, categorize my inbox. So things were clumps. So I would work on them in groups. But then I was managing to categorize them, but still just working in that top section of like, if it's still in the top section, clearly it's most important, which was a lie. Is a lie. It's frequently a lie. It's just the thing I couldn't easily figure out what to do with it or categorize it. And so it sits there haunting me. And what I've found is that I go into email and let's say in my inbox, let's say it's even just 50 emails, but just. These days, 50 is like, oh my God, what happened? I was on vacation for a week and I got back Monday. Today is Wednesday. I still have about 10, 15 emails because I have not been critical enough with my own process, but it's an evolving process. That's how this works. But still, that's all I have in my inbox. So really the thought of 50 in my inbox ongoing is really horrible to me because I have lived there and it's just like 50 things that I need to do that I haven't figured out what to do yet, or just haven't got to yet, or there's weight and there's panic with every single one of those. So when I can get that gone, life is better, right? So using the inbox as that task list, that's where everything breaks down. So what I think I talked about a little bit last time was the idea that our inbox is like an entryway, and it is an entryway of infinite proportions. I mean, it's not quite infinite, but you can usually go back to your IT team and go, can I have some more storage space? And if you're doing it off of Gmail or something, you can go, hey, Google, I shall pay you money. Give me more storage space for my email, which I am not dealing with in a get it gone fashion. We allow it to just accumulate. We allow all of our electronic files to accumulate beyond any and all reason because it doesn't take any... There's no real restriction forcing us not to, because space seems infinite, and we don't have a practice of releasing, letting go, getting rid of, keeping things move through and tidy. Like the things that are hard to do in physical life get so much worse when it comes to electronic life. And I find that people are not good at this stuff in, physical life. So no wonder it's hard. So we were taking Dana K. White's steps, which trash, donations, easy stuff, which is take it there now. So I reframe a little. I mean, trash is trash. Can you, read, delete? Cool. Can you donate it as in, that wasn't for me. I say that with such delight. I'm sorry for all the people that get my message. I'm like, it's not mine. But donate it on to somebody else to take care of if it's not something that you have to. Great. And then delete it or put it in an archive file or something. Don't just pass it on and leave it in the inbox. The whole point of this is that we are going to, this is big, this is huge, this is monumental. This is the agreement with yourself that when employed and stuck to and adhered to in the, crazy gluest of ways, this is what will make the difference. And I know because this is what has made the difference for me, and is also the thing that I struggle with the most, because it is trying to create a new habit from a rut that is so big that it is the Marianas Trench big. So it's very, very difficult to be able to switch out into this other state of being. But this agreement is that I will touch this email once while it's in my inbox. Once. So what this also means is that because I have a habit of, I've got 5 minutes, let me just check my email. So I'll bop in and I'll read like 3 emails, go, I can't do anything with that. No bueno. Because I've read them, but I haven't done anything with them. They're still just sitting there. And then the next time I go in, maybe I have 15 minutes, and then I end up reading them again. And I can read the same email, I don't know how many times, but not actively take action on it because it was not trash. It was not a donation. It was not the easy stuff, which is I can answer this in under 2 minutes or under 5 minutes. Like, I'll do it, get it done. Hallelujah. Or I can I know where this needs to go. I know it needs to happen. Quick, easy, done, right? Those ones, sure, no problem. But it's the other ones that get stuck. So the other ones, that's what we're really going to try and talk to today as we go through and clear out that entryway of the inbox and say it is not an infinite space. In fact, much as I am all for zero, like truly, honestly, should be zero and sticking to zero and getting back to zero. So my container is basically in no container. You can't stay here. This is a no parking zone, no overnight stays, as it were. And I really get particularly panicky when it goes past if I have to scroll. So one screen's worth. If I have to scroll through my email, I can't all see it at once. I have definitely violated all principles or all of the containerness of my inbox. Okay, so that agreement, I'm going to look at the email once in the inbox and put it and deal with it. So if you can, you delete it. If you can, you pass it on. If you can do it in under 2 or 5 minutes, however much time you have, cool. What about all those ones where you can't? So with Dana K. White, her easy stuff, right? You take it there now. Now when you get to, and we still have in ours, there's some stuff that may be easy, like I know what needs to happen with it. It's not necessarily difficult, but it's time consuming. So in the email world, I feel like time is king or queen. Or quicks, what is the gender neutral for king and queen? I've been going with quicks just for fun because it's kind of like combining the two together. Yeah. Anyway, so when you've got that email that you're like, okay, I can't do this super quick. I can't give it to somebody else. I can't just delete it, even though I may want to. What do? Well, it basically, we need to move it into our task actual system. Right? Because the inbox is too mushy. For those who can use it as a task system, good on you. Cool. Glad that works for you. It does not work for me because everything gets folded in. I am all for let's move it into a task system. Now I use TickTick. I've tried Outlook tasks multiple times. I've tried Todoist multiple times. There's a whole host of things available now. So find your boat, floating it. I am going to talk about TickTick just because it's the one that I use. It's the one that makes me happy, and I'm going to be talking about how I use it. Now, I think the concepts are very cross-applicable, so you may have to figure out how it works in the particular platform that you use, but that you get it. Moving on. So the idea of I want to choose what I'm working on from my task system, because my task system, in the transition of going from the inbox to my tasks, I define and categorize and define the work that needs to get done. So what I mean by this is, I've got in my inbox that I need to, do taxes. That is not a necessarily quick thing. Now, I'm all for, it doesn't matter, not talking about it. It doesn't take me too long, all things considered. But it's still more than 2 to 5 minutes. So I get it. I don't want to forget that I need to do it, but I'm not going to do it right now. In the past, I just leave it in the inbox and go, that will remind me that I need to do it. I was using inbox as my reminders. Horrible. Also, I have an amazing ability to ignore actual reminders, like pop-up reminders. They almost never work for me. And people who can put it into their calendar and actually pay attention to the calendar and use it that way, I am impressed by you. My brain does not allow it. But if the calendar works for you for doing that, that is your task system, great. This still conceptually applies. Because what you want to do is you want to take that email and the work. You want to take the work that it says. So in this case, taxes. And I want that to go into my task system, noting, ideally, I would put in a note, this is going to take me an hour, or it's going to take me 2 hours, or it's going to take me more than 2 hours. So I'm giving a note to myself on an estimate of how long this thing I think is going to take. Always add a little extra because we're very bad at actually estimating these things. And I'm going to, in my world, I have priorities I'll talk about, so I categorize it into another time. I'll talk about into what area of life of priority this is. For me, this is pretty much number one. I want my money managed. It's also the one that I need to do the most work on right now. But, that's also why it's a top priority. If I don't have my money managed, everything else goes to heck. So do a couple other things, but it's the one I struggle with. Anyhow, neither here nor there, but I categorize it into that grouping so that if I had multiple things come in, I group them into the topic area so that I can work on them in topic batches, because that's usually more efficient. And because I prioritize those areas, like at work, there's facilities, there's finance, there's HR. Well, HR prioritizes first. So by grouping them that way, I can go and focus in on, okay, I want to look at the HR things first because they have the higher priority. And when I move it over, so I put it into its group category, I tag it with how long I think it's going to take me to do it. And I mark the priority level of it. So if you're familiar with the Eisenhower matrix, that's the one that goes whether something is urgent or not urgent, important or not important. And we have a tendency to work always in the urgent, want to move towards working in the important, and ideally working in the non-urgent important, because we have so solved our world that we do not deal with urgent and important a whole heck of a lot, and we've managed to get out of working. I'm letting you in. Do you not want in? I guess you don't want in. Okay. Sorry, traffic moment. We end up a lot of times working in the urgent, not important, sometimes because of just how it feels. In a way, it's kind of a quick little, probably dopamine, little adrenaline, little dopamine hit, like I did a thing, I took care of the thing. But was it an important thing, or was it something that didn't need to get done and I could have focused on something else instead? So when putting it in to my tasks, I prioritize. Now, I actually don't use the Eisenhower matrix per se. TickTick has it built in and has the priorities, but I categorize them differently. I call it the Adams funnel. Yes, I do. And it is, I just had that moment of, did you introduce yourself at the beginning of this video, hon? No, I did not. Hi, I'm Vi Phoenix, also Vi Adams, and welcome to A Witch's Perspective, because as a witch, this is my perspective. And today we are talking about productivity and my view on productivity and email. All right, glad we got that out of the way, like 15 minutes into the video. Yeah. So in the Adams funnel, the first priority is that which is already baked in. it is that which we are already doing. Now, there's a lot of scope in there to evaluate whether or not it's the right thing to be doing, but it's an acknowledgement that our time first goes to what we've already baked in. We're already doing the things that we do. So we need to acknowledge that. We can't just be like, oh, this is the most important thing, so it's going to get done. And then it never happens. Why? Because I'm doing all these other things first that were already baked into my life. So my top one is what's already baked in, what is woven into my life. And the next one is what will I do? So this is like if it was top priority in the Eisenhower, but it didn't make top priority by my must be woven in rule, then it's will. I will be doing this. This is non-optional. This is happening. After will comes want. I want to do this. I really do. Does that mean it's going to happen? I don't know. But it needs to wait until after the wovens and the wills are done, right? So a lot of my funnel is about recognizing the amount of time that is available. And so after want becomes wait. Like, I don't know, like I probably should or something, but it's not happening now. It doesn't need to happen now. And part of the evaluation of will and want is that importance and the time. Like, some things may change category. Like, I want to do this now, I will need to do this later. So there's some shifts that can happen. But wait is I'm not saying I won't do it, but it's going to have to wait until everything else is done. And then won't. And really got to get strong on that won't of, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I won't. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. So it gets prioritized. It gets put into into TickTick for me, into your task system. And then go back to the email. So that's also what I love about TickTick is keyboard shortcuts, man. Keyboard shortcuts are the way to live. If you have to mouse click through things, you are wasting so much time. So I can key shortcut into adding in a task to TickTick, which is really lovely. So I'm looking at the email, I'll add in the task, save that out, and then be back in the email. Now, a lot of times there's stuff in the email, and for work especially, I very much respect the privacy aspect, and so I don't, even though you can, I don't attach emails. I don't put things in that identify people, like information security. And frankly, I don't want to spend the time of attaching, etc., etc. So instead, what I do is, this is my hot tip for you. And when you're like, but I need to be able to find the related email. If I don't have that, then like I have to put all this stuff in, and it's so much more. I'm like, no. Here's how you do it the quick and easy way. So you make your task, and what I do is I tag it. In my particular case, email 3. I'll explain that in a minute. But it gets tagged email 3. And the nice part, of course, I just have to type £sign or $sign. I start typing email 3 and it pops up. And I'm like, yes, please, thanks. So that goes into the task. And then I go back into the email. And I have a folder under my inbox, numbered 3. My first one is awaiting replies. My second one is reference or something along those lines. But my third one is it's in my task list. The emails that are in this folder are related to, oh, dear me, we are going on a road trip because the road itself is closed. Well, that's not helpful. So the folder these are all emails that there is a task in my task list that is related to this email. So when I make the task, when I'm typing it up, I put in, that tag says email 3. And then I also will put the date. I should have gone right. Oh well, too late now. I put in the date of the email that it's referencing, and a brief couple of keywords from the subject line so that it is findable, very easily findable again. yeah, so that's it. Like, it's a couple of seconds of typing, boom, 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 la-di-da, and I close out the task, and then I go into the email. Now, I use Outlook at work, which is where the majority of needing to use this comes in. And in Outlook, you have shortcut keys. So I do a shortcut that will, which is Control-Shift-3. See, connections, all lines, so that I can just really quickly, I hit Control-Shift-3 while I'm on that email, and it will automatically get moved into the TickTick folder. So that there it is. So it takes me 20 seconds, maybe 30, to make the task, put in the necessary information, relate it over, and make note in, and put the email where it needs to go. And of course, it's now been moved out of the inbox. So it's no longer there, that needs to get done with. And I just keep going. Remember that agreement? Deal with it and go. So if I hit an email with, oh, what am I going to do with this one? I go in, I figure, it's going to go into tasks, and just which group does it go under? What priority level is it? How much time is it going to take? Are there any other tags I need to add? But that's a different topic, different day. Like, just go through, make those decisions, put it into the TickTick folder, and I'm done with it. And I can move through all of the email, sort it through, and this is why you do it, so that when all that's done and you've got all the email out, and usually, even though I can get 60 to 80 emails a day, I can get down in under an hour to the zero inbox, because I'm not spending the time doing the tasks that are in the inbox, aside from the quick and easies. Instead, I've moved them, and I have already pre-sorted them by moving them into the task group, into the task system. The way that I've pre-grouped them. I've pre-identified what is important, what is, how long things are going to take. So if I don't have a lot of time, is there something quick and easy that I can work on? But I can go in and go, okay, I need to do my HR things first. What's sitting for me in my HR tasks? What is the priority? What are the highest priorities in that? What's the stuff that I'm either woven into what I'm already doing or will be doing because it is important and critical to do? Start there. And if about once a week, I try and look at a broader section and go, okay, what, instead of, working through those lists in that particular way, I work through it differently. I'm not going to talk about that right now, tempted though I may be, because that's not what's important today. Today is just getting it out of the email, and I have been talking for lordy 22 minutes, so we are going to call an end to this. But that is how you get out of email hell, part 2. That will do it. That will take you to the land of freedom, where instead of going, I guess it's in my inbox, I need to do it. Oh my God, my inbox is out of control. I feel completely overwhelmed and incapable of moving, frozen by my email. Instead, no, you've cleared out your email. Your email is good. And when you go to look at your task list, you are not looking at a sea of everything has the same quality of importance to my brain. Instead, I'm looking and going, I already know what's important. I already know where I need to put my focus. And I have a top 10 tag as well. Well, at work it's a top 20. And go so that I can tag something as this is really, even if it doesn't time-wise or, other ways seem important, this is what's important. I've pre-identified it. So I can clear out and move away from those things which may take a bunch of time, but I don't actively need to do, not in the same way. So I don't drop the critical things. All right, that is enough of that. That is enough of this chicas opinion, perspective. That's all it is. It is my perspective. Do with it as you will. Take great care of yourselves and enjoy your day. Blessed be.